and welcome to Take Your Life Back Today show with Ralf Friedrichs. Yesterday we touched a subject about intervention and how to hire the proper interventionist. Today I'm going to talk about something that I haven't spoke about yet, and that is training and responsibilities of a recovery coach, of a person like me, of a person like Dr. Luis Gonzalez from Starting Point MN. That's who I want to give a shout out to first thing today on today's episode of training and responsibilities of a recovery coach. Dr. Luis Gonzalez from StartingPointMN.com can help you go from your addiction to your recovery, hand in hand, 24 hours at a time, one day at a time, worrying about today, thinking about tomorrow, never bringing up yesterday, because bringing up the past will only possibly cause triggers and stressors. So we want to concentrate on the motivational aspect, and that is today and tomorrow. Dr. Luis Gonzalez will help you from addiction to recovery day by day. If you reach out to him at 844-414-8444, that's Dr. Luis Gonzalez from StartingPointMN.com. He can also help you if you want to become an addiction recovery coach. I was talking to a good friend of mine who's got a family member that is battling addiction, and she happens to also be in the field of helping other people. And I recommend it to her because she's got experience like most people don't have, and that is to help an addicted loved one, because Dr. Luis Gonzalez's criteria are if you have professional personality and passion, and more importantly, if you have an addiction background battling your own or helping a loved one like my friend does for her family member. And I did recommend that she looks into possibly doing this as a maybe passion to help and continue helping other people. Dr. Luis Gonzalez at StartingPointMN.com. And I want to give a shout out to GlobalEyeglasses.com, where they are focused on saving you money. I want to thank two people that saw my episode 2 weeks ago that called me yesterday, and I was able to help them pick the right glasses for themselves. They were able to pick the proper frame and lenses that they desperately need to see this beautiful world a little bit better. They have, this is GlobalEyeglasses.com, that is, they have over 1,200 frames to choose from. They have progressives, they have transitions, photochromatics, polarization. They have ways of making your lens thinner. They can put anti-reflecting coating for night driving, UV coating, and polarized glasses all together for you. Many of you have called me directly from seeing my show at 631-599-0218, or you can even call my hotline at 844-405-HELP, and I will continuously help find the proper glasses for you. With my 30 years experience in the optometry field, I can make sure that you will see better, and with Global Eyeglasses, low prices, they will focus on saving you money. Also go to my website, it's www.Take Your Life Back Today show, which is about this show. It's about my biography and what I'm doing on this show. Also go to www.clearviews.info, where you can find the 411, the information on addiction and recovery. And if you need to hire an addiction recovery coach, you can call me at 844-405-HELP. You can go to www.clearreform.com. Mind you, both my other websites start with the word clear. The word clear I invented for this particular meaning, and that would be for Community Lessons Empower Addiction Recovery. It is our community, whether it's here or global community, that empower addiction recovery. Our stories, our real people with real stories that battle addiction every day, that battle drugs every day. The epidemic is so severe, not only here in New York, but throughout the country and throughout the world. It is our community, our lessons that empower addiction recovery. Folks, training and responsibility of me, the recovery coach. For you people that don't know what is involved in the training and what isn't a recovery coach. A recovery coach is a very helpful part of treatment programs that are prescribed for persons with drug addiction. A recovery coach is any person promoting successful recovery by removing obstacles and barriers in the recovery process. A recovery coach is also a person that will do 80% of listening and only 20% are talking. It is our job to make sure that you get to speak, and we are here to listen, and we will help you bring to surface the answers that you already have to your questions. Because 99% of the time when people with addictions and recovering have questions, they already know the answer, but what they need is the reassurance. They need somebody to ask the right questions to bring those answers to the surface. That is what a recovery coach does. What can I do as a recovery coach? A recovery coach can do the things that your treatment experts and therapists can't do for your recovery. A recovery coach can help you find resources. A successful recovery process needs a lot of support from different outlets, from different resources, and that's what a recovery coach does. A recovery coach can help not just the patient, but the families as well. The treatment can be tough for all, so the recovery coach unites the addicted and the family together, like I am doing with my friend that is going through this issue. The services of a recovery coach does not end after treatment. We are here for after the addicted treatment to avoid relapse. We are here to make sure that the addicted person that is in recovery continues to get the support that they need, continues to look for a job if they need to, continuously make sure that the resources provided by possibly social services are utilized properly by the addicted in recovery. That is the job of a recovery coach. Again, my job as a recovery coach is to make sure you, as the addicted person, gets heard by me with 80% listening. I will not sit there and out-talk you, because you, the addicted in recovery, are my main concern, and I want to make sure that you continuously ask the questions, you continuously speak to me, so I can hopefully guide you in the right direction. What are the goals of the training that I personally went through? And I did go through Dr. Luis Gonzalez's program at startingpointmn.com, which is an unbelievable program. And it is all done through webcam. It is all done through Dr. Luis Gonzalez personally. It is not just a book. He will walk you step by step and teach you step by step how to be an effective recovery coach, how to be a good listener, how to know what questions to ask. That is what Dr. Luis Gonzalez does at startingpointmn.com. What are the goals of recovery coach training? Excuse me, my cat must have been here. Identify the roles and the functions of recovery coaches. That is part of the training. It is for Dr. Luis Gonzalez to make sure that he identifies my role, my function as a recovery coach. Discussing components, guiding principles, and core values of recovery. Everything I say and do will impact my patient's recovery. It is crucial that I know what questions to ask, when to ask them, and what questions not to ask, because everything I say impacts you as the addicted in recovery. Dr. Luis Gonzalez and his training program and other training programs that are out there to turn all of us into recovery coaches that so desire to be one, provide training and skill building to enhance relationships. Recovery coaches must develop good relationships towards their clients. It has to become a trust relationship. As their partners in achieving their goals, it is important that the patient trust the recovery coach so the patient can speak anything they need to speak about. And you have to remember that even recovery coaches, life coaches, have certain ethical standards to go by. Identify the different co-occurring problems and disorders. Addictions are often associated with different problems. These problems will greatly affect recovery progress of the patients. Now, this is what I had written on my dry eraser board. I want to read to you what I literally have written here. And bear with me. Recovery coach is a very hard part of treatment programs that is prescribed to persons with drug addictions. A recovery coach is any person promoting successful recovery by removing obstacles and barriers in recovery process. The coach serves as a mentor. What is a mentor? A mentor is almost like a role model, like you as a parent should be to your children, like you as a grandparent. That is what a recovery coach is a mentor, a role model. Recovery coaching is a form of strengths-based support for the addicts who are seeking recovery. Recovery coaching does not offer treatment or diagnostics and is not associated with any particular means of methods of recovery. Instead, a recovery coach provides support for clients in positive changes and other activities associated with clients' recovery. What can recovery coaches do? A recovery coach can do things that your treatment experts and therapists can't do for your recovery. A recovery coach can help you find resources. A successful recovery process needs a lot of support financially and emotionally. Your coach can help you find resources for detoxification, treatment, and harm reduction. He can also help you solicit support from your family members as well as from local support groups, as I said in the beginning of this. A recovery coach can help not just the patient but the family themselves unite both together. Instead, the coach can help them understand the experience that the patient is going through in their recovery process. Because most recovery coaches had some sort of addiction, not all. The services of a recovery coach do not end after treatment. Instead, the recovery coach is also very important for the patient's life after treatment to avoid relapse. The coaches provide their patients other goals in life aside from overcoming addiction. The coach provides encouragement to the patient to go for his new life after treatment, to seek a passion, to seek a new career, to seek a same career, maybe new job, to seek a job, period. What are the goals of recovery coach training? Recovery coaches play an important role in success of any addiction treatment. Hence, it is important that individuals aspiring to be competent recovery coaches should undergo special treatment. This training consists of identify the roles and functions of recovery coaches. It is very important that recovery coaches fully understand their roles and functions in their patient recovery process. Discuss components, guiding principles, and core values of recovery. Everything you do or say as a recovery coach will greatly, and I repeat, greatly affect the patient's recovery. As a recovery coach, it is important that you are familiar with the guiding principles and components of the recovery process. You need to educate yourself with all new material that is out there. This way, you will properly be guided on how you will handle certain situations that will not negatively affect the progress of the recovery. Provide training on skill building and enhanced relationships. Recovery coaches must develop good relationships towards their clients. As their partners in achieving their goals, it is important that the patients trust their recovery coaches. Otherwise, the goal of recovery coaching will be ineffective and not achieved. Identify the different co-occurring problems and disorders. Addiction is often associated with different problems. These problems will greatly affect the recovery progress of the patient. Thus, it is important that the recovery coaches learn to identify these co-occurring symptoms and problems as well as the necessary treatment and therapy. Folks, these are training and responsibilities of an addiction recovery coach, such as I am, such as Dr. Luis Gonzalez are. We are not counselors. We are not therapists. We are not interested in your past. What we are interested in today and tomorrow. And it is very important that you build a core relationship with your patient, that you build a trust relationship with your patient, that you show your patient that you are a listener. It is so important that a recovery coach listens 80% of the time and speaks only 20%, because it is the addicted that we're really here for. It is not for us. It is for the addicted. It is to help take your loved one's life back. That is the basic training and responsibilities of recovery coaching. I'm going to do a recap quickly for anyone that maybe is watching that kind of missed something. Let me read the first paragraph because that's important. Recovery coaching is a very helpful part of treatment programs that are prescribed for persons with drug addiction. A recovery coach is any person promoting successful recovery by moving obstacles and barriers in the recovery progress. What could be some of those obstacles and barriers? It could be enabling the person. That could be an obstacle. In other words, you give money knowingly that the person is going to utilize that money for drugs and alcohol. Barriers and obstacles could be resources. Barriers and obstacles could be jobs. Barriers and obstacles could be relationships. It is my job to make sure that the core values of my position are explained and dispensed to the patient so that the patient can utilize and remove those barriers and obstacles. Let's go to the next part. The coach serves as a mentor. What is a mentor? A mentor is a role model. It is my job to make sure that I practice what I preach. What a hypocrite any addiction recovery coach would be if they tell you not to drink and not to do drugs and abuse this and that, yet they do it. That is not a mentor. That is like comparing to a parent that smokes and drinks in front of their children, but yet tells the children, don't do it. That is not a mentor. A mentor leads by example. Let's go to the next part. Recovery coaching is a form of strengths-based support for addicts who are seeking recovery. We build a foundation for the addicted to build on a future life in recovery. We teach the addicted to live with their new life in recovery. We teach the addicted, we show the addicted, leave the past behind and move forward. Worry about today and move to tomorrow. Recovery coaching does not offer treatment or diagnostics because we are not therapists, we are not doctors, and we are not counselors. What we are addiction recovery coaches. What we are a motivational tool that eliminates barriers, that shows that we lead by example. Instead, a recovery coach provides support for clients in any positive change. If you think positive, positive things will happen, positive results will show. And other activities associated with the client's recovery. We as recovery coaches, me as a recovery coach, will suggest to my client to walk away from the social gatherings of alcohol and drugs maybe they've been hanging out with, and find new friends in churches, AA, rehab centers. Surround yourself with positive people. Walk away from the naysayers and the negative people. And if you truly want to help anyone that you might know that has an alcohol or drug addiction, stop bringing up their past. Give them a chance for a change. Remember that any change only starts with small steps. by you criticizing them for what they might have done yesterday or last week is not productive in a future life living without drugs and alcohol. Because what you're doing is you're making them feel bad, you're bringing them down, and that I sure will tell you will cause a relapse, or will at least give them a stressor to consider utilizing drugs and alcohol again. A recovery coach can do things that your treatment experts and therapists can't do for your recovery, like the motivational aspect, the mentoring. I am not just a doctor's appointment for 15 minutes to tell you you're healthy. I will walk and walk and walk with you day by day, today into tomorrow. A recovery coach can help you find resources. I will make sure that you go to the social services, to the unemployment, to the job placement, to the right treatment, to the right support units. That is my job as a recovery coach. A successful recovery coach, a successful recovery process needs a lot of support financially and emotionally. That's when I unite the addicted and their family. Your coach can help you find resources for your detoxification, treatment, and harm reduction. Resources that are provided by the state, the county, social services. He can also help you solicit support from your family members as well as from your local support groups. It is my job also to be a liaison, a mediator between the addicted and the family members, to bring them together, to show that they are united as a whole, as a family, to show them that their addicted loved one is here for change, that this particular loved one is doing the small steps required to make the big changes in life. A recovery coach can help not just the patient, but the family as well, because the family does not know what the addicted is going through, and it is my job to educate them as well. The treatment process can also be tough. Okay, we went over that already. So what are the goals of a recovery coach training? Dr. Luis Gonzalez taught me the roles and the functions of being a recovery coach. It is very important that recovery coaches fully understand their roles and functions for the patients recovering. Dr. Luis Gonzalez from Starting Point MN at 844-414-8444 taught me those roles, taught me those functions, and they are embedded in my brain forever. Discuss components, guiding principles, and core values of recovery are all things that the recovery coach needs to be taught, that will be taught by Dr. Luis Gonzalez again from StartingPointMN.com. As a recovery coach, it is important that you are familiar with the guiding principles and components of the recovery process. There is a process. There are certain steps, little steps towards making that final ending, or the final new life, I could say, because it's not an ending, it's a brand new life. The way you feel, this way you will properly be guided on how you will handle certain situations. Dr. Luis Gonzalez prepared me because we did one-on-ones over and over and over again. So he makes sure that when he trains you to become an addiction recovery coach, that you are prepared and ready to meet your challenges. Dr. Luis Gonzalez at Starting Point MN also provide training on skill building and enhanced relationships. Recovery coaches must develop good relationships towards their clients, not just as a mentor, but also as a trustworthy relationship. As their partners in achieving their goals, it is important that the patients trust the recovery coaches. Very important. Otherwise, the goal of recovery coaching is not ever achieved. Dr. Luis Gonzalez Starting Point MN program identifies the different co-occurring problems and disorders. Addiction is often associated with different problems. Those problems will greatly affect the recovery progress of the patient. Thus, it is important that recovery coaches learn to identify these co-occurring symptoms and problems, as well as necessary treatment and therapy. Folks, this is training and responsibility of recovery coaching. This is what I do. This is how I was trained. This is how I will help you take your life back. I want to thank Dr. Luis Gonzalez from StartingPointMN.com for training me, for making me who I am. Because I am not just an addiction recovery coach. I am an addiction recovery coach that has a certain passion on helping other people. It is my core desire to bring to you in your living room, your kitchen, wherever you're watching me, the fact that life without alcohol and drugs is a life worth living. That living in a positive sense with positive surroundings will give you positive results. It is my core values to also bring into your living room, your kitchen, wherever you might be watching me, the fact that all big changes in your life will happen if you take the small steps. Don't expect the big changes just to come dropping from the sky. You need to work at it. If you want to be sober, you need to work at it 24/7. It is not merely just showing up at AA at night for an hour and a half and then going home and willy-nilly doing whatever you want. If you truly want to have a new life, if you truly want me to take your life back or anyone else to take your life back, reach to your higher power also. Ask God for guidance and direction. Folks, I hope to God that this segment was very educational for you, because I wanted to bring into your kitchen, your living room, into the jails, the homeless shelters, and the nursing homes, wherever you might watching me, a picture of what I do and how I was trained and what makes me sit in front of this camera. What really motivates me is the fact that I passionately want to help other people. That is my mission in life. Yes, I am a professional in the optometry field, but this is the job that I enjoy. This is not even really a job. This is what I enjoy. This is how I want to help future people that are infected or that are addicted to drugs and alcohol, to show them that there is a better life. There is a new life awaiting at the end of the tunnel. Look at the end of that tunnel. I see that little light, don't you? And if you do, come to me at 844-405-HELP. Call me, and I will, I promise you, help take your life back. I want to thank Dr. Luis Gonzalez from StartingPointMN.com for the training that he provided to me, that created and molded me into the addiction recovery coach that I am today. And if there's anyone interested in becoming one, please call him at 844-414-844 and tell him that Ralf Friedrichs told you to call Dr. Luis Gonzalez. Folks, I sober today, I promise you will make you a better tomorrow. And if you want big changes to happen in your life, please start with very small steps and continue on the small steps. And if you think positive, positive things will happen and positive results will show. And please teach your children to say no to drugs and alcohol. I hope to God that each and every one of you folks has a great day, but more importantly, I hope to God you have a sober day, and may God bless you.